thank you, the Salt Lake Tribune, for this. It's called How has come on, Jenna, you're making me make mistakes too.
I'm sorry.
How has Utah saved 75 million on welfare by providing next to none and taking credit for LDS welfare instead? So obviously, the first thing I had to do was to Google what LDS means, and apparently this is called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you Google the name, you will find that their objective, or the objective of their welfare program, is to care for those in need while teaching principles that promote self-reliance and self-respect. And as soon as I started reading this article, the first thing that makes me want to throw up was the first description. The state makes aid so hard to get that some get baptized into the predominant faith only to obtain help, which I find extremely disgusting, guys. Awful. This is just like similar to when Christians go to Africa and they bring Bibles and they force people to listen to a whole hour or 2 hours of their teachings in order to give them a sandwich. And I mean, this is totally related to what happened that we were talking about, tax exemption. Do I even have to mention Mother Teresa and how her took a lot of money, made so much money that if she had taken the money from the Vatican Bank, they could have gone into bankruptcy, and how she forced baptism into dying people. So yeah, even worse, this LDS thing is part of the Mormon religion, one of the worst religions out there. I mean, come on, they had to invent the Scientology only to have something worse than Mormonism. And guys, this is so terrible that people, they get denied the help from the government because they are not poor enough, according to the government. So I'm going to quote from the article. Although maintaining a safety net for the poor is the government's job, welfare in Utah has become so entangled with the state's dominant religion that the agency in charge of public assistance here counts as a percentage of the welfare provided by the LDS Church toward the state's own welfare spending. This means poor people have to go with the church, and even in the church, there is a bishop who is going to approve for example, if they want to buy food, the bishop has to decide what they can or cannot buy. And different from the government, the religion can just discriminate based on religion, meaning they are going to force you into their own religion if you want their help. And this makes me sick, guys. I don't know about you, but for me, this is disgusting, totally disgusting.
Yeah, it's like you're putting these unfortunate residences that live in their communities, you are beholden to be converted into the church in order to receive assistance. I think there was a reference in here from the article in which in 2019, the state of Utah rejected nearly 90% of applications for welfare assistance. And too many caseworkers advised those individuals that were denied to turn to the Christ of Jesus Christ to turn to the church, the Christ of the Christ. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for help. So it's almost like, I'll leave it there. I want to hear everyone else's thoughts. Josh, you had some great information regarding the situation of the welfare state of Utah and the entanglement with the LDS Church.
Well, they mentioned in the article that a lot of the people in charge of the welfare are like the senators or whatever for that state, the people in charge for that state. So, and they all happen to be majority Mormons or Latter-day Saints, however you want to go for it. So there's a big conflict of interest right there. And they've even talked about how they're able to put the funds for welfare into like social projects. And they're, instead of giving it to the people, they're doing like classes about stopping premarital sex and stuff like that, which they've already proven doesn't do as much as giving the money directly to the people. So they're having these vanity projects so they can keep the money out of people's hands who might use it for Satanism and groceries, and going right into forcing them into the church and do like a fake it till you make it kind of Mormonism. Because they don't care whether you believe it. They care whether or not you look like you believe it, and then you instill that upon your family.
They want those church numbers up. That always
Exactly.
looks good as well. And
Yeah.
this is just yet again another example of how those of us that are not religious in this country, we need to continue our activity. We need to stay motivated. We have to make these types of options available for people. We do. We can't just sit back and just say, well, the Baptists in my area aren't that bad. If they want to give out some boxes of food, no, fuck that. We need to be doing this because it appears that the only way, just like Mateo said, people aren't going to be forced to sit for 2 hours to listen about some dude breaking loaves and fishes for hungry people. They don't have to sit there and listen to that just so that they can eat a damn sandwich at the end of it. Like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to preach to you about, hey, Jesus is probably not that big of a deal, or Muhammad maybe wasn't a great guy. We're not going to do that. We're just going to hand you a fucking sandwich because that's the human thing to do. So we need to make sure that our secular support system in this country is up there, and we need to talk to our politicians, plain and simple. I don't care if you're a senator and you happen to be part of this church or any church. That doesn't matter to me. But when your decisions are entirely based on and only benefit the people that agree with your church, that's a problem, because that's not what this country is about.
And it's quite hilarious because what you are mentioning is something that we have to do. And it's, guys, this is not to help atheists. This is to help everybody. This woman,
Exactly.
in the article, there is a woman who has a certain degenerative disease. So her daughter had to stop studying in order to take care for her. It's awful. And the government just said, no, you're not poor enough because she's living in certain place where they are trying to make it look more cute or whatever, cuter, whatever. And then when she went to the church forced her to get baptized under this religion. And she said, first she said, yes, of course, because I need to feed my family. But then she realized this is not the faith I believe in, and I have to be honest, so I cannot get baptized. And due to her refusal, they were denied welfare by the church just because she didn't believe in this other faith that was being imposed on her. So, guys, these cases are cruel. They go against human dignity. Yes. They go against the reason why the damn government exists. God damn it! They are supposed to be there to protect people. Governments should be here to serve people, not to impose their own freaking religion on people.
So then, yeah, I loved it. Thank you. So where's the safety net after that then? Okay, so initially you apply for that application for, welfare assistance to the state. The state denies you. 9 times out of 10 that will happen according to these statistics in 2019. So then they tell you, oh, go to that church down the road, maybe they'll help. Okay, but the stipulation is in order to get assistance, you have to convert to our faith. Okay, cool. I'll pretend to do that, but then I have to, what if I, as you said, I, stopped short of being baptized. Now I can't get fed or help my children or even myself. And so where's the safety net after that? Are they told to go back to the state to reapply? What if they get denied again? Maybe that isn't even the process. They're just, okay, well, I'm off on the street because I don't want to convert to your religion.
It's not even just converting to their religion, though. You have to meet their social standards, too, for a lot of them. They talked about if you have kids out of wedlock, you're probably going to get denied. If you're gay, lesbian, or trans, you're going to get denied for this. If you look, they had even an example of a guy that looked kind of disheveled. He could get denied. So I'm like, I'm definitely not getting the money because I dress like a slob. So I'm able to put myself in the shoes because I'm just seeing nothing but horrible, arbitrary things. It shouldn't matter. And none of that stuff matters about whether or not they deserve money to be taken care of. It's a horrible, immoral act, and it seems like they're taking a whole state at hostage. Like they need it, but they have demands, and they have to be met to the T because they have enough people coming in that they can manipulate into falling for this scam that they're doing.
And if we really do care about people, if that's we say that all the time, but if that's really how we feel, then help, aid, it shouldn't be contingent on whether or not you kiss my God's ass. It shouldn't be
Amen.
contingent on whether or not you're part of my political system or my social club. If you're hurt and I can help, I should just help. That's it. It doesn't take it doesn't take a book, it doesn't take a lecture. That's it. It's just that simple, guys.
You'd think it would be.
You'd
Obviously,
think.
it's not the obviously it's not the case in this state. Mateo, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to finish with if only governments were doing their damn job. I mean, so hard. You have one job, guys. Take care of your people. One freaking job. And look at what you're doing now.
But
Well,
think
the
about it.
government is who we elect. And the
Right.
problem is we don't have enough people with our kinds of values going into the polls and voting for people that are going to care about the issues that we care about. I know so many, and this is definitely anecdotal, I'll admit it, but I know so many people that refuse to vote in even the presidential election, and they're definitely not coming up for all the smaller elections because they don't think that their vote matters, and they forget about things like this. So if people are getting more revved up behind politicians that care about separating church from state and like taking care of the people, then maybe we can have some change. But we need to get our people fired up about this shit.
That's right.
It definitely goes a bit more down, not even at the federal, the state, because the beautiful uniqueness of America, or the United States, I should say, is that yeah, we have federal government, but state by states govern the way they want to fucking govern. And that's the bigger problem here, because I'd be damned if they did that shit here in California. And we're practically almost neighbors with, I know there's Nevada, I know geography. Obviously I failed that course, but we're almost neighbors. It's the next state over. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the fact that there is so much, diverse laws state by state where it accepts one thing and not the other and does it this way and not the other way. That's a bigger problem there. Overall, the federal government should be taking harder stance actions, implement a overall federal legislation that will combat issues like this. But on another side of that is that government never wants to touch religion, because then they get the feedback of, oh, they're trying to go against my faith and all this other stuff. Well, your faith is causing the homelessness and detriment of people living on your streets continuously, because they've had children out of wedlock or they look unkempt. I mean, I get it. Josh has a scraggly beard. I wouldn't give him fees for shit either if he was trying to convert to my religion. But I'm just saying that should not handout, please. But that should not be a stipulation to take care of people.
That's right. That's right. It's not taking away from you because we're offering a well-funded program that isn't religious and wants to actually help people when they say they're going to. That doesn't take away shit from you, because you can still preach your message and you can still tell people, come join my church, convert, I'll give you all these wonderful things, both here and after. But we should have something there for the people out there that, I mean, can you blame that woman that honestly said, I just don't agree with this? That is so ridiculous to me to imagine somebody asking me to go completely against who I am. So
and she was religious too, so it's going up against her religious faith on it.
Exactly.
Like, I could probably fake being Mormon for money because there's nothing that's going to downfall me for it. I don't feel like I'm betraying a god, but she has like betrayal of her beliefs in it, and that's a little bit harder for her to go against.
Yeah.
This, what we're talking about, protects religious people and atheists.
Exactly.
Yeah. And remember, guys, whenever people are trying to stop you from discriminating others, that's not persecution. So there's that.
Yep. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Well, indeed. I think that definitely ties in well with what we earlier discussed, but I just, you know what? No, I'll leave it at that. That was great. Thank you for opening us to segment 2, Mateo. Definitely something we should follow
you.
in regards to what's going on in the state of Utah and any other state, no less, that may have this type of contingency that, you know, I highly doubt it because Utah is just so unique. But I hope, and any other country, no less, that may have that kind of contingency in order to supplement welfare for others. But let's go ahead and move on.